Yo guys, Crescent here. Welcome to my build video for Stamina Nightblade. I would like to call this build Pew Pew Kittie because obviously we'll be using Snipe as our main damage dealing ability. And before I get into this build, I would just like to say that this build is not really a 1vx build. It doesn't require you to have a lot of skill. It is just something to have fun with, you know, because the thing you just need to keep up is your buffs, obviously, and empower to do more higher damage snipe. That's all. Okay, so let's get it started then. Okay, like usual, I'll go through the stats, the item sets instantly. So what you want to do is you want to buy marksman, super cheap. You can get it in the store. You want all divines because this is like a semi-ganking, you know, sniping build. So you want divines for max damage because we'll be using shadow Mundus stone. Okay. So we want marksman. What I did is I bought marksman 5-piece marksman body, all divines, and the second set is archer's mine. This is another I would say crit set. So what increases your crit damage done by 5% and another 10% if you are in sneaking or invincibility or invincible. So usually what I do, I'll cloak, then I'll get the crit from the snipe, and then I'll snipe, and I'll empower, then I'll cloak, and then I'll snipe. That is what I do usually. And you want all divines as well. So you get 3 rings, any of the set will do, all weapon damage, and then everything divines on the body, all stamina glyphs. Okay, and then your weapon you will use either master or VMA, sword, maul, axe, anything will do. I don't have a sword. I think sword might be the best because for the healing, but that doesn't really matter because you'll be using more snipe than melee abilities. And then for the bow, you want to have either master's bow or maelstrom bow, but I would suggest maelstrom bow because master's bow gives you less damage, but when you apply poison injection, you will deal a bit more damage. But this is more like a sniping build, so you want to have the raw damage beforehand. And I'll be using poisons as well, this damage dealing poison. It doesn't really matter though, but I think poisons is good just to give that a bit more damage because the enchantment from Master's Maelstrom bow is pretty useless, so I would suggest you to use this poison as well. Even on the front bar, on Maelstrom 2-hand, you can use this poison as well, just to do a bit more damage. Okay. Potions, yeah, I will be using, there are a few potions you can use. You can use this invincibility potion when your magicka is low. You get Major Expedition and then you vanish for 15 seconds. It's pretty good. But usually I'll be using Tri-Stat Pot because your healing is terrible and then your resource is terrible as well, so Tri-Stat is really good. Of course you can use something like immovable pot and immovable and major expedition pot, that will be fine as well. But I'll be using usually this invi pot or the Tri-Stat pot. Okay, and yeah, now to the skills. This is really important. Okay, so there's a few ways you can build your Nightblade. Do you want it to be a bit more flexible, a bit more melee combat wise? You can fight in melee combat, or do you want to do pure bow snipe, or do you want to be just in between? Okay, so what I do is I'll show you my setup first, which is just in between, a bit of ability to do melee combat and range and focusing on snipe as well. Okay, so I'll go with the bow bar first. Obviously you need your snipe. I took focus aim because I feel like the raw physical damage is better, and you can apply minor fracture which deals more damage over time with your snipes. Obviously your vigor, your healing, your cloak, the escape. Usually when people is on you, you do a dodge roll into vigor and then into cloak. Evil Hunter for your crit, major savagery, relentless focus just to amp up that damage even more. And I use a Dawnbreaker because it gives you more damage from the passive from Fighter's Guild. Slayer, and is it Slayer? Yeah, weapon damage 3%. And yeah, that's why I use Dawnbreaker. Okay, and for the two-hand bar. I'll be using execute, surprise attack. You can use the two-hand execute as well, but I prefer Killer's Blade because I get back the heal and it's a bit cheaper. Stamina cost, ambush, and mage light to buff your snipe, and rally for your major brutality, and incap just for the melee combat stun CC. Okay, and the food we'll be using is this food, the max health and max stamina food. This is the best food, gives you good health and max stamina for the raw damage. Okay, so if you want to do something like a melee combat build, I would suggest you drop you go for fear, so you get a hard CC. You can CC people that are blocking, and then you keep the back bar the same. This is what I like to do. You take out empower for Massisteria, fear. Okay, and if you want to go full bow build, which is like just sniping and poison injection and stuff, you could do something like you take out all the melee stuff, you put away shadow image, you take away vigor, you put it front bar, you take away ambush, you take away fear. You could put something like you could put mark if you want. Siphoning attacks would work just fine, but the most important thing is you need a mage light, obviously, to empower your snipe. And then on the back bar, you want another fighter skill, maybe rearming traps, just to amp up that damage, you know. So because you get 9% now from Slayer, so weapon damage 9% increase. So this is a really good setup. You want to put your cloak at the back bar so you can dodge throw, get the speed from the bow passive, and then cloak away. So this is something like what I would do. Maybe you can take away Reaper's March with something else. I don't know, maybe like if you feel like you need a fear to fear people away, or you need something like siphoning attacks for more sustain, it's up to you. But this is something I would run for pure bow build. Full damage on the front bar, and the back bar just escape, healing and escape, shadow image, mage light for buffing, debuffing, Reaper's Mark, all this stuff. Yep, this is the pure gang bow build. Okay, and the CP, yeah, there's gonna be some changes for CP in the new patch. I'll just go through the CP that I'm using now, and then I'll tell you what you need to apply for the new patch. Okay, it's really straightforward. You put a lot into Warlord, Sprinter, and Magician, just one for the benefit. 100% into Mooncalf, 2% Arcanist. Tumbling you need a lot, so you can dodge throw a lot. Shadow Ward, just a bit will do because you won't be blocking a lot. Okay, and this is the important tree. I put 5 into Shattering Blows just to penetrate the shields a bit more. And I put 70 into Precise Strike, high crit damage, 100 into Mighty, and 25 into Piercing. That's my setup. So you can do like crazy like 15k, 16k snipes, no problem. And then a bit into crit resistance, because we got basically 0 crit resistance because we are using all divines and shadow Mundus, so that is a must have. And yeah, some into Hardy, some into Elemental Defender, Thick Skin, and a recovery just to get a bit of healing back. Okay, the new changes that is really important for CP is, yes, obviously you don't have Warlord anymore. You can put more into Mooncalf or something else, you know, for the green tree. Maybe more into Tumbling, because Tumbling will be only for roll dodge, and Break Freeze for another tree, so you need to separate them, put more into them. And the most important thing is there's going to be a new tree on the blue side, which is going to be Masters of Arm. Masters at Arm, I think, Master at Arm. That is going to increase the damage for your single target ability. So you want to max that out. Maybe not max it, but put 75 points or something into it. Like a lot of points into it. So because when you put more into it, it's going to get less effective. So you want at least, I would say, maybe not 75, maybe like 60 points into it. And then you want to put maybe like 60 into Mighty as well, and then 60 into Precise Strike. So you split them up. And maybe a lot more into Piercing, because Piercing is going to get buff. That's how you build for the new patch. And it's going to be really strong though, because you get increased damage from Mighty, you get increased damage from Precise Strikes, you get increased damage from piercing and increased damage from masters at arm. So your snipes are going to be crazy next patch. I can't wait to play this build next patch. It's going to be so dirty. Alright. Okay, so I think I covered most of the stuff already. Then I just want to go through the buffing steps that you need to do. Of course, firstly you need to of course keep up your rally and your merciless, and then you empower to get the empower, and then to cloak to get a crit, and then you sneak to get the stun from the stealth. Yeah, so that's about it. And if you enjoyed the video, feel free to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in cyrodiil. Okay, bye bye.